How's it going, my peeps? It is now time for the Raw results / highlights and review video. And this week, the show started off with CM Punk coming out. So, just the situation last night with the referee and all that stuff. He talks about Ryback, talks about the Hell in a Cell, says that he's actually not responsible for the referee low-blowing Ryback, and he had nothing to do with it. He just took advantage of an opportunity, and that as far as Ryback goes, Ryback is, he's done with Ryback. He doesn't want a rematch with him or anything like that. It's in the past for him. And then Mick Foley comes out, and they go back and forth for a while until CM Punk tells Mick Foley, it seems like you want to do something about it. You want to fight. So how about Survivor Series? They could have a classic Survivor Series matchup, Team Foley versus Team Punk. And Foley actually agrees. They then stare at each other for a while without saying anything. And then eventually CM Punk says, whoever you pick, and then Ryback comes out, and CM Punk gets out of the ring and goes through the crowd. Not in the same spot he was last time, though, where he hit that fan. But yeah, he goes through the crowd and leaves as they go to commercial break. They then had JTG come out for a match against Ryback, which Ryback obviously wins in a quick fashion. After the match, Josh Matthews wants to talk with Ryback. He asks him if Ryback wants revenge. After last night, Ryback says revenge is admission of pain, but he's not hurting. But he is hungry, so when he feasts again, he's gonna feast on CM Punk. And then he starts chanting, feed me more, feed me more. And then they hype that, they're gonna have Sheamus talk about last night's match against the Big Show after his loss at Hell in a Cell. And then we get Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett, which was a pretty good match. And in the end, Wade Barrett went for his souvenir elbow, but Orton ducked that and hit the RKO for the victory. We then get AJ backstage with Vickie, and Vickie tells AJ that she has a chance tonight to, defend herself against the John Cena accusations and explain the affair. AJ says she doesn't have an affair, and then Vickie tells her that she's going to consider, giving AJ a contract as a diva, but she wants one good reason as to why she should give AJ a contract. And then Vickie says she wants that reason once she comes back. We then get a tag team match, the Primetime Players versus the tag team champions, Team Hell No. And Team Hell No wins the match after Kane chokeslams Darren Young, then takes out Titus O'Neil out of the ring. Daniel Bryan tags himself in, and then puts the no-lock on Darren Young, and Darren Young taps out. We then get Vickie Guerrero coming out to address the AJ situation, to introduces John Cena. John Cena comes out, he wants to see the evidence that Vickie's talking about. In the beginning, she shows evidence from Raw 3 weeks ago, or whatever, when John Cena, jokingly asked AJ on a date. And then she shows John Cena hugging AJ last week. And then she shows John Cena on the dinner with AJ, and what I found funny here is that John Cena's wearing his his merchandise. He's wearing his T-shirt in that dinner picture, and afterwards, up until this point, John Cena has an explanation for everything, for the dinner, for the two other videos or whatever, the evidence she showed, but then she shows AJ and John Cena going into an elevator together, and this starts to look like the TNA angle with AJ Styles and Dixie Carter, but whatever. Anyways, then John Cena kind of looks like, he doesn't know what to say, but eventually he says, she wanted to go talk to you, and he convinced her to just, come in the elevator with him, and then they went their own separate ways. And then, before he, explains a little bit more, Dolph Ziggler comes out, and before he really says anything, he just says John Cena and AJ. John Cena grabs him and tells him to not mention John Cena and AJ's name in the same sentence again unless he wants to fight, and then he pushes Dolph Ziggler to the ground or to the ring mat and then leaves. We then get Antonio Cesaro versus Kofi Kingston, champion versus champion match, and The Miz is on commentary. So at some point, both Kofi and Antonio are on the outside, and Miz is talking trash. So Kofi Kingston grabs Antonio Cesaro and throws him over the announcer's table onto the Miz, and then throws him back in the ring. And when he goes on the apron to get back in the ring, the Miz grabs Kofi by the foot, pulls him down, and then There's a disqualification, so Kofi wins by disqualification. He throws Kofi Kingston back in the ring, and both him and Antonio Cesaro start, attacking Kofi Kingston inside the ring, and then R-Truth comes out for the save and actually takes out The Miz and Antonio Cesaro out of the ring. After that, we see AJ in Vickie's office, and Vickie comes up to her and tells her sorry for being so late. And then she just tells AJ, just admit what she did with John Cena and I'll make you a diva and all that good stuff. AJ says no, she refuses to lie for Vickie, she's not worth it, blah blah blah. And then, AJ goes to leave, but Vickie tells her, no, come back here, okay, you're hired, but if you put your hand on me, you'll never work for this company again. After that, we get an interview with 3MB, the three-man band, Jinder Mahal, Heath Slater, and Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal brought back the accent. It seems like sometimes when he feels like it, he uses the accent, and other times he doesn't. But anyways, it's a short little interview. The interview asks them, if we're gonna see them perform anytime soon, and they tell him not to pressure them. And Jinder actually says that he's the fun one, and he smiles, but then that smile turns into just this stare. He's just staring at the camera, all serious. Anyways, afterwards, we get Santino and Zack coming out for a match against Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal of 3MB. The end of the matchup takes place when Drew McIntyre gets on the apron to distract Santino. So Santino hits the Cobra on Drew McIntyre. That distraction allows Heath Slater to hit his finisher on Santino for the 1-2-3. So 3MB win the matchup. We then had AJ's first match as a superstar again against Beth Phoenix. And AJ actually won the match with a quick roll-up out of nowhere. And then Vickie comes out and says she expects better from AJ, so she wants to restart the match. So she tells the referee to restart it. AJ slightly distracted with Vickie. Beth Phoenix attacks AJ and then hits a Glam Slam for the victory once the match, is restarted. So I guess AJ won the first match and Beth Phoenix won the second match. Or do they erase the first match and just the second one counts? I'm not too sure about that. But anyways, after that, we get Sheamus coming out to talk about the World Heavyweight Championship match last night. He's all smiles and says, he's disappointed that he lost, but Big Show was the better man that night, blah blah blah. He says the next time they're gonna fight, it's gonna be a war. And then Big Show comes out with the World Heavyweight Championship. And pretty much to sum it up, in the end he says that Sheamus can't beat the Big Show. And eventually Sheamus hits the white noise on the Big Show. And that's pretty much it for that segment. And then backstage you have AJ with John Cena again, and John Cena tries to cheer her up and hugs her. Vickie sees that. And then Beth Phoenix comes up to Vickie and thanks her for, restarting the matchup and letting her win the second time. And Vickie, tells Beth she wouldn't have to restart the match if Beth would have done her job, and then fires Beth Phoenix. And then we get a tag team match between Damien Sandow and Rhodes Colors versus Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. And I was expecting Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara to win the matchup, but actually Damien Sandow and Cody won the matchup when Sin Cara was about to go for the Swanton onto Damien Sandow, but Cody Rhodes pulled Damien Sandow out of the way, and then Damien Sandow got up, hit his neckbreaker finisher on Sin Cara, and won the match for his team. We then have a segment where practically everybody on the roster is on the stage. John Cena's in the ring, and they're there to present Susan G. Coleman with the funds they've raised, for the foundation. And they reveal the check, and it's for $1 million. And I believe they raised that from the fans buying the John Cena gear, the Rise Above Cancer t-shirts. And then we had a match between Del Rio and Justin Gabriel. I thought it was going to be yet again another Del Rio squash match. Wasn't exactly a squash because Justin Gabriel got some good offense in, but in the end, Del Rio wins this one with the cross armbreaker. And then we get Paul Heyman in the ring to introduce CM Punk. CM Punk comes out, and then they roll out the WWE cover from the top. That because CM Punk is on the cover. And then Paul Heyman thanks Punk for letting him choose CM Punk's partners in the Survivor Series elimination match. Introduces The Miz, and then the Rhodes Scholars, and then Del Rio as, the 4 other superstars a part of Punk's team. And then Foley comes out to introduce his guys. He introduces Kofi Kingston, Team Hell No, and Randy Orton. And then CM Punk says he's going to eliminate everybody on Foley's team and just leave Foley there so he can teach him about respect. But then Foley says, Yes, if I'm the last guy, I'm the weak link of the team, but I'm not going to be the last guy because I'm not competing. Instead, this guy's going to be competing instead of me, and then he introduces Ryback. Ryback comes out, all the other team members, fight against each other. And then CM Punk just gets out of the ring, runs away from Ryback. Ryback clotheslines Cody and then hits the shell shock on Cody to end the show. So what did I think about Raw tonight? Well, the match of the night, I'd say, was Rey Mysterio and Team Cara versus the team of Damien, Sandow, and Cody Rhodes. As far as the overall show goes, I'll be honest, I didn't like the show tonight. If I have to give it a score, I'd give it, honestly, like a 5 on 10. Didn't really enjoy Raw tonight. Hopefully next week's better. We'll see. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And tomorrow, WWE13 comes out, so stay tuned tomorrow. I'll be posting a lot of WWE13 videos, at least a video per day for a while. If you like WWE13 gameplay, WWE13 online matches, and all that good stuff, then you can click that subscribe button above if you're not already subscribed. So anyways, I'm out guys. See ya.